Hey, what's up, guys? So in the last tutorial, I showed you guys basically how to go ahead and just build out these classes, which is that you have a context class and you have sort of your model class, which in this case is just a video object. So now I'm going to show you guys how to use the entity framework to basically build a CRUD application for you. And CRUD stands for Create, Read, Update, Delete. So basically what we're going to do here is the first thing we have to do is we have to do one sort of configuration thing. So if we go to the web config file, and we'll see here that there's all these connection strings, right? Well, there's only one. And right now, this is the default connection string. If we don't add a new one, it'll just use the same exact. This will be the default one if something is not, explicitly set. But we're going to set one, even though it's going to be the same one. We're going to set it just so you can show you how to do that. So by default, this video context, like I said, is going to serve up all of the records from our database. So if we go to the web config and we create a name, and we're going to set it instead of default connection, we're going to send this as the video context. And now by default, if we set the name of this connection string to the context of our class right here, see video context right here, if we name that in the connection string to video context, it's going to by default use this data source. So all we're doing is we're setting this data source to a local database and we're just attaching it. And I'll probably hit an error because I actually changed the database a little bit and I haven't enabled automatic migrations, but I need to show you about that anyway. So let's see if it go ahead and throws an error. So now that we did that, now that we set up a place for this to save to the database, we're going to use the entity framework to build a CRUD application for us. So what does that mean? So we have this class, but we really have no way to add information to the database or get information from the database. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to let the entity framework build the controllers and the views for us from this class. That's pretty neat. So all we have to do is write this one class, and the entity framework will build all of our controllers and all of our views necessary to interact with this class. So if we go over to our controllers folder and we click add a new controller, we're going to use MVC5 controller with views using entity framework, right? So we'll just go ahead and click add, and our model class is going to be our video model, or our video class. And our data context, it already figured it out, is going to be our video context class. So basically, this video is going to say, hey, this is what each of the records in the database is going to look like, and this video context is just going to return all the records stored in there. So, and then we're going to create a new controller named, instead of videos controller, which is the default, I'm going to call this admin videos controller, and I'll show you why I'm doing that in later tutorials, or I'll even show it to you right now. So I'm going to click add, and right now it's scaffolding, so it's going to build all of the stuff, right? So if we now look over on our side, we have this new admin videos controller in our controllers folder, and in our views, we have this new directory, admin videos, with this index, edit, details, delete, and create. And if we go over to our controller, admin videos controller, we'll see we have all this code that's created for us. Looks like about 130 lines of code already written for us. Well, let's see what all this code actually does. So I'm going to go ahead and start a Firefox, and provided it doesn't error out on me, which it might do because I might have to update the database. Looks like it is not going to. Okay, cool. So we're just going to create a new video, and we're going to call this test. And test and test. So I'm going to create that, and then we can see, whoa, there we go. It's just created. So let's go ahead and stop that. And let's go ahead and just hit show all files. And we're going to go ahead and refresh it. And if we see now, we have this new, if we see under this app data, we're going to have this file right here. And we're going to see that we have video context for build this site. And this is where our database is stored. So this is actually our database that the entity framework just created. And if we go to show table data, we'll see we have a new ID of 1, name of test, description of test, URL of test. So all we had to do was just write this, where's our models? All we had to do is write this videos.cs, and from this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, from this like 10 lines of code, we now have the entity framework built for us. This database model right here, it built for us all of these views right here. This create, update, edit, delete, or CRUD views, um, and the controller for everything. And so now when we hit play again, we'll see that data is actually getting saved to the database. So I can start adding, I guess the goal of this class and of this controller and views is to start adding admin, there you go, is to start adding videos to the site that you're going to actually see. Now, if you see why I put admin videos, is because this is going to be more of an administrative page, because I obviously want the users to be able to view my videos, but I don't want them to be able to edit my videos or delete my videos. So obviously. So in the later tutorials, or actually in the next tutorial, I'm going to show you, instead of using the entity framework to create all of our views for us, our data model for us, and the controller for us, we're going to actually go through and build it by hand and create a more realistic one for actual users to use. In real life applications, I normally probably, once you actually, I know that learning it's kind of a steep learning curve. Once you actually learn it, what you'll probably end up doing is what I do, which is that you have the entity framework build the class for you, and then you just custom tailor it, because there's already a lot of code here for you. It already has a lot of stuff, included for you. So, but right now we're just going to try to learn it, so we're going to build it by hand. But in the future, probably you'll just let the entity framework do most of the heavy lifting for you, and then just custom suit it to your needs. So if your mind should be pretty blown from this. Like, all you really have to do is create a video class, and then you can use the entity framework to build a CRUD application for you. And this is really the antithesis of rapid application development. And one of the best parts of the ASP.NET MVC framework is that really within the matter of probably an hour, you could have a pretty decent CRUD application built. Obviously it's going to take a lot longer to fine tune stuff, but you could create a smaller application really quickly. And so this really should be pretty mind blowing from you. If you're used to using like PHP by hand without a framework, what we're doing here should seem like black magic. Even other cool frameworks like Ruby on Rails and stuff like that, which, I mean, I don't want the cool kids, because all the cool kids use Ruby on Rails, to hate on me, but I mean, really, you can't argue with how awesome this framework is. So yeah, that's basically it. And in the next tutorial, we're going to go through and we're going to build out the controllers and the views for our model by hand, and use something a little more custom. So thanks for watching.